2, 1. Welcome to the SPPD Procast, starring myself, Glanzer. We got Abio back once again, and becoming another regular, we got OniChris. How you guys doing up there?
What's going on, guys?
What's up? What's up?
And we got the newbie to the stream this time, Luke, also known as LHM12. Your name should probably be LHM12 instead of Luke, huh? I shouldn't dox you live. How you doing? How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good.
Oh man, I think I have to up. Hold on, guys. I gotta make Luke's voice a little bit louder here. Never thought I'd ever hear that. All right, guys. How's everybody doing in chat? We got the Procast coming at you. Quite a bit to talk about today. There was kind of a surprise big update. South Park, I'm sure you all know. Some pretty decent updates, some pretty big bug fixes. We'll talk about a handful of those. I'm sure everybody's already talked about it on their own streams and stuff like that. But we'll kind of hit it as a group and see how everybody feels. See if there's any differings of opinions. We're not going to do Q&A today, but make sure you're saying stuff in chat, talking, just to give us some beats to go off of sometimes. So, you guys want to just jump right into it, or you gotta want to like intro a little bit? Luke, it's your first time. Say a little bit about yourself.
Hey guys, I'm LHM12, otherwise known as Luke. You may or may not know me for inventing the Youth Pastor Craig Stand of Many Moons combo. I know. But jokes aside, on a serious note, I'm a good player at this game. To my knowledge, I'm the youngest whale in this game. Roughly around $3,000.
Woo!
For a 15-year-old. Like 52 right now. So yeah, it's a little bit about me.
That's actually impressive to even have that cash at that age. So I don't.
And to not want to spend it on a car.
He's got Uber.
I have 60,000. I have $65,000 in college investments right now.
Dude.
And
nice.
Luke's got his shit figured out.
That's what's up.
Good to hear it, Luke.
I've got a little bit of credit score.
Do you know about South Park? We're gonna quiz you on that tonight.
Yeah.
First, starting talking about the updates. So there's a lot of them. We're not gonna go through them all. You guys all know that you can check the Ubisoft forums for them. I'm sure every Discord that you're in also posted a link to them at some point. There was quite a few changes, quite a few bug fixes, and we'll talk about the main ones. And the first one that we're going to talk about is the new Team Wars upgrades, which basically is the fact that now when you upgrade a card in Team Wars to, let's say, a level 5 legend, then the people who have it at level 4 get to play it at max level 4. If you don't upgrade it to 5, you play it at base 4. If you upgrade it to 5, the people at 4 get to play it at max 4 if they have it upgraded to max 4. And the people at 5 get that extra boost on the initial, cash upgrade. So it kind of opens up a little bit of different options for upgrading. For free-to-play whales, for example, we weren't going to upgrade Shield Maiden past 3 because not very many people benefit from it. But when we found out that change was happening, we did bring her to 4 because so many people would get the benefit of the level 3. So it really changed our deck up, and we actually decided to not level up some cards. It was interesting to have that as an option, So Abio, what do you think about the new changes to the upgrade?
Yeah, I think they're good. Overall, it's kind of how I thought it was initially until I found out that it was different. Because this is how friendly fights work. If you have like a max level 2 rare or a max level 3 common, you get to use it at like that level.
Yeah, I didn't know that actually, and I didn't think that was true.
Fights. Yeah, in friendly fights, at least I'm pretty sure it's that way in challenge mode as well.
Man, well then
So
I've been screwing up because I've just been getting cards to base and then using them in challenge. No wonder
Yeah.
it sucks so bad.
No, yeah, I always try and get it to max because like I always notice that like there's not that much of a difference between like a max level 2 rare and like a base level 3 rare. There's not a huge amount of difference between a max level 3 common and a base level 4 common.
Right.
But in TVT, there was a pretty substantial difference because everything ended up being just base levels. So I think overall this is a good change. It makes it worthwhile to level up your legendaries to 4, especially if most people have like the level 3 version. Same thing with your epics. Like now it makes it a little bit more worthwhile to take it to level 5, even if a lot of people on your team may only have it at level 4. They're still getting a lot of benefit from taking it to that next level. So overall, I think it's better. I think it opens up more options for how you invest bottle caps. I still think they give too many bottle caps overall, like this early on, but this at least makes it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, I think we all agree Wood Shield or Wood League was way too much. Way too many bottle caps.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Luke, you have anything to add to the new upgrades?
So it definitely benefits a mass majority of people that have higher leveled cards. If you have like a team that has like a couple high leveled cards and you just they're free.
Oh man, Luke, you're breaking up so bad.
Am I really?
Yeah, it's okay. We're gonna fight through it.
All right. So even though a team may not have that card leveled, but a couple people do, it'll definitely benefit them and can almost guarantee them a good score. But
right,
yeah, it's like, I mean, it helps a lot. So having max level compared to base level, it's just a huge boost. It's gonna help you a better score per week.
right.
So,
Yeah.
about that.
And there's like two sides to that because there's the people who are happy that they'll be able to use their max cards to the full benefits of them maxing it. And then there'll be other people who will be upset because they'll be like, oh, I'm already using so many mats just to get this card to the base level, and now you're saying I also have to upgrade it to max because my team went to the next level.
Yeah.
So I can see both sides of that coin and why some people would be upset and some people would be okay with it. It really just depends on the deck for that week. Does it benefit you that week or not? But it does benefit, I think, more people in like the middle tier where, like you said, can bring legends to 4 and benefit from the 3 now. Whereas before it was like there's no reason to bring legends that far because not many people had it at 4. But now a lot of people have legends at 3 nowadays. So I think it was good. It should have been like that probably from the start, to be honest. But at the same time, I do kind of like it the other way, personally, because all the level 5 rares that I've had to upgrade, it'd be nice to not have to max them out.
Yeah.
You have anything else, Chris?
I mean, it definitely adds for more conversation and structuring in team versus team, which I talked about last time. I do really like. I like the conversations about it because now it'll be, hey, do we want to cycle in a level 5 or 6 common more quickly, or do we want everybody to capitalize off of level 3 max shield main windy or level 2 max shield main windy or whatever it is?
Right.
Because I actually thought you were talking about free to play whales benefiting from the windy upgrade. I didn't really have a chance to be online to give any input on it, and I feel like it's going really good. So it's a good decision either way. But in my personal opinion, I would have preferred a faster cycle to get Robo 6 out and then to get CKI 5 or 6 out.
Right.
We,
yeah.
We had some of those cards like Labard and CKI had to suffer so that some of the legendaries could be higher up, which works well and is a legitimate strategy. So it's adding another strategy to team versus team, which is cool. I mean, it's a good system. Adds more conversation and strategizing, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because now there is that conversation. Before there wasn't that conversation. It wasn't even an option. Like, should we take this to 4? Should we take this now? But now, I think that's really cool. Yeah. I don't think it. I mean, it will hurt a few people that won't be able to max and then don't benefit from as much as they could. But I mean, either way, they're getting more than the base, right? So they, even if they haven't quite maxed it yet, or they don't have the mats that week to do it, whatever, or they don't want to invest in that week for that card or something like that.
No, for sure. I mean, that's why the conversation's there. It's like, hey, how many people on the team only have Wendy at 2? Wendy at 2 at all? You know, how bad is that player going to hurt from being forced to play Labard at 4?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I lost a bar because my Labard didn't do the damage I thought it would because it was low level. But
I'm sure we'll get used to it too. It's the week 1, and I'm not trying to sound negative about it. I do like the change. It's good.
Yeah.
It's adding some input.
Yeah. Well, it'll be nice to have that knowledge now during the voting phase.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate that it happened in the middle of like a week, but I understand the dev cycle is, like Thursday or Friday releases usually. So it's better that they release it now than to wait to release it Monday when they don't that's just silly. Better to do it now.
For sure.
But I'm not sure how much that would have changed some decks, but Mind Control was definitely the choice this week. Cock Magic decks, y'all in trouble.
That's all I ran into.
I played Cock Magic deck, and I mean, I did fine, but I also just kind of got lucky and didn't run into any like mega whales or anything. Most of the, like, 2 of my opponents had like level 4 epics, level 4 or 5 rares, but most of my opponents only had like level 2 legendaries or level 1 legendaries. One of my opponents was running like pure challenge deck level, and that was a pretty easy game. But other than that, it was fine. I got a little bit lucky with my opponents.
Yeah, I accidentally queued up in a game earlier, mindlessly playing, looking at stuff. Wasn't even playing on that account. Noticed I started, and I was like, "Oh shit, new kid level 14, what?" And I was like, so I had to play it out, and I ended up losing a bar early on to Cyborg, and I ended up pushing into his face and taking 2 bars.
I came across another whale. That was my last match. I won't say who, but they had level 4 Mechatimi, 3 Shield Maiden, and they were running Cock Magic. So it didn't end up being a problem because it's pretty impossible not to expect it. If you know Cock Magic is a choice and they haven't mind controlled yet. So it was a win. I took it, but because of the stall for Cock Magic, I could only get 2 bars, which maybe I was even lucky to get 2. So I couldn't get the full 114 this week because of that, which could be a good strategy for certain players.
I got 2 as well. I got 2 bars on that win as well. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's ever. Well, I mean, that 1 point did matter on a bracket not that long ago. Who was it that won by 1 point? I think last week.
That was last week.
Was it Dire Tide or like Tidal Wave or something over somebody?
I want to say it was like Casa Bonita and SP Elite or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, something like that.
Literally was the actual 1 point.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which is nuts.
That's why I use that as an example of when people talk about like, give 1 point for just running through a loss just so that we know they did it. And I was like, man, that would have changed that fucking game if people got points for losing. So when the points are only variable by 1 to 114, 1 point can swing it for sure. So they got to figure out a different way to do that.
I'm really curious. I don't know if you have this as a subject. I need to pull it up. So if we're going to talk about it later, sorry for bringing it up now. But the way that brackets are decided, I've heard that if you don't end up getting the PvP packs that have the caps in it, so that as a whole, your team only pulls, say, 3,400 because they were never collected and auto-spent by the game at the end, that you get matched with teams that spent less bottle caps, or earned less bottle caps, rather. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I
total.
think that's true.
That is true?
I'm pretty sure. Like, and I was thinking about that this week too. That the way that their rank or their bracketing system works, you can kind of game that system if you have enough coordination among your members, and you just say, hey, I need five people or 10 people to volunteer to not do any open any PvP packs for those 3 days or whatever.
Yep.
or just kind of do the math and figure out, okay, based on the cards that we're voting for this week, here's how many total bottle caps we need to really like max out our decks.
Right.
And then you just tell everybody else, okay, the rest of you don't open those PvP packs. That way you have the exact number of bottle caps you need and no more, and then you'll have a better likelihood of getting matched up against easier opponents as well.
Right, and that could be particularly effective in like the Gold League, where you might get 40 or 4,000 caps, or let's say 5,000 here. Is it 9? Whatever. Let's say it's 10,000 caps, and you only really can utilize 6,000 because we can only really utilize 5,000 maybe without getting to the point where nobody's benefiting, or maybe 2-3 people per card is benefiting. For now, yeah, it'll get as we go. Obviously, it'll get more and more. But so yeah, it could be beneficial to purposely miss some bottle caps if you have it all figured out. But I don't know if that would be worth it necessarily. But for the top teams, but definitely some mid-tier teams, and we talked about this in some of our teams. It's better to be, and Namblos is proof of that. It's better to be a group of 30 bangers than to be a group of 50 where 20 of the people might not benefit from the level 4 epics and the level 5 epics even maybe, and the level 3 and 4 legends, because that's what the 50 person bottle caps, all that does is get you to that point. If your deck only benefits from the first level, then even if you're doing the votes, even if you're getting your packs in, even if you're doing it all, like, you don't benefit from it. So it's more likely that your deck will do poorly against the people that you're matchmade against. Now, if you came to Namblos, you'd go through, easily, because your deck would be a fucking nightmare. So it's just very interesting that you could, like Abio said, you could game that system. But then at the same time, there must be a lot of people getting 50 people max bottle caps, because our bracket this week is pretty lax. Like, we don't have Illuminati, Diretide, like, we don't Chefs Elite, SP Elite. We don't have any name I really recognize.
All secondary teams, I think.
Yeah, we have secondary
or just lower names. Which
though they would be well suited to drop 5 people from each of those teams and not match up against us and possibly win their bracket.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy. It's definitely, I'm not going to say it's completely by luck, but it's definitely a good part of the way that Namblos is formed, being casual and not having a lot of people or some teammates just not getting their caps. Like, perfect score. They're top 10. I think there's 14 teams with 400 right now, and Namblos is one of them, which is crazy because that's our. Is it more than 20?
I think it was 24 or something like that.
So, a small amount compared to how many teams are in the game.
Right.
And the fact that Namblos is one of them is nuts.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. I led it there myself.
It's all you, baby. It's all you, man. It's your baby.
But yeah, it was mostly just, we were getting matched up against, like, Namblos is all silver and some legend. And we were getting matched up against teams that had 50-50 people, but they were bronze shield, wood shield. You look at their donations page, and after 20, they're all zeros. So then you look at the amount of points and runs we got. We got 1,800 points in 20-some runs, and they got 800 points in 20-some runs. So it's like our guys are just doing really well, too.
Go Namblos.
They're playing well. And then we were 35 out of 50, and then the moment we got to the top of that board, we immediately filled up to 50 out of 50. We kicked out all the inactives, and then immediately filled up back to 50. It's ridiculous. Sorry to cut you off, dude. I've gotten messages already, like, from people just bleeding into the Namblo chat, like, "Yo, does Namblos have room, or what's up? Like, what's going on over there?" Not about Nambla or anything else. I've gotten messages purely on Namblos lately. The sad part is that pretty soon we're not going to be anywhere near the top, because points are going to be taken into account, and we never even broke 2,000, I don't think. And so we're going to be way lower. And that actually segues perfectly into our next topic, which is actually the crown changes, which is going to make retroactively as well as going forward, every 100 points you get on the Team Wars you get 1 crown. So, for instance, free to play is getting like 200 some, and Namblos is getting like 40 some. So quite a big difference.
Are you talking about that little fix that they're doing?
Yeah, with the crowns.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Are you gonna do a round table? I didn't mean to jump in.
No, yeah. Let's start with the bio this time again. Well, actually, you know what? I don't even know if we really have to go around the table. This is pretty obvious. This was a good idea. It should have been like this from the beginning. This will kind of circumvent the issues with, like a team getting 4,000 points but getting 4th place because the bracket was just a banger.
Yeah, like Nambla did like 3 or 4 weeks or something, like for
exactly
3 out of the 4 weeks.
Nambla's got like 100 some points only right now, but with the change they'll go up by, I mean, with about 4K a week.
Yeah,
you know, it's a decent amount, 100 something. So they'll be in bronze a little sooner. And then this week, instead of only, I wish they would have waited 1 week, because this week it would have really been like, how many of those 26 are gonna go 1st place and get to bronze? How many of them are going to do it? I think that would have been really cool. But now, because of this, there's going to be 50, 60 teams in bronze easy, I think, maybe even more, regardless of how they place. Because we could get last place and still get to bronze, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think that's how it works. But yeah, Chris, do you have anything to say about the change at all? I don't know. It's not.
I mean, I think you're right. It's not really a discussion. It was a good decision, and then another like applause to Red Links on doing something cool. It's a good little hot fix, I guess, if you want to call it that. I like it. That's it.
For sure. Do you guys remember? Is there any other updates this week regarding Team Wars other than leaders can pin messages, which is a really nice feature? Let's see.
I don't think there was anything else, but we could talk about the pins because I think it's super cool.
Yeah, the pins is nice. On the, if you didn't know, it shows up on the upgrade page. Some people might not have updated their game yet. Actually, I don't think it's mandatory yet. Luke, what do you think about the pinned messages?
About the pinned messages?
Yeah. Cool feature.
I think it's really important. What was that? You cut out?
Oh no, continue, Luke.
All right. So I think it's like really helpful for leaders to be able to pin the messages for people that don't communicate through a chat like Discord that provides
Look, hold on. Try it without your headset.
Try without my headset?
Dude, yeah, I think your headset is really messing up. I think your laptop one might be better. Or it's your connection.
I think it might be my connection.
I don't know, man.
I'm trying to turn on my hotspot on my phone.
Would that be better?
Yeah, it would. It would definitely.
Isn't it sad, man? That's the same for me. Sometimes 3G, 4G when I'm playing is way better than Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi and phones, man, it just doesn't. I don't know what the fucking issue is. You think that would be the thing that worked the best on Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
And then sometimes you can't even like connect to a game when you're on Wi-Fi. You switch over to 4G, boom, immediate, fast. I don't get it.
Y'all got to get on that mesh network, man. Luke, I know you have better signal at some point in your house. Y'all got to get the mesh network set up. That's what we have because my house is older, so my room's like way in the back. It's super helpful.
I could probably move in like a minute.
He just needs an Ethernet.
Wait, are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, now you sound perfect, of course.
All right, so
other stuff.
The pin messages go.
So all right. So like I was saying, for the people that don't have Discord or whatever other servers or whatever else to communicate, a lot of people are relying on that in-game chat, play the game or talk to people. So the whole pin message concept is important. Like especially with the Team Wars feature, like with caps, it could prevent people from not wasting caps. Like the leader sends a message like, "Oh, we're done with this card. Don't put any more caps into it."
Right. Yeah. Super important.
It's that can help improve the game.
Yeah, there was a lot of quality of life improvements this time around, which is something that a lot of people were hoping for and kind of pushing for. Some of them I don't think got in this time, but
I like that they added the pin message. I think it's a band-aid though to a greater problem. I really wish, like, I hope this isn't just like their solution and like they're not going to like really like further address this, but they really need to improve the in-game communication feature. Like just all around that entire UI needs to be overhauled. And I'm really, really hoping that this isn't just a, hey, we did something and now we're not going to really address like the actual problem, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's at least something. It's something like it at least works. I just, like I said, overall like the chat in this game, the communication in this game is by far the biggest weakness this game has. Like you 100% have to rely on like a third party communication, like either Discord or Line or something like that. Like you can't really like organize a team using the in-game chat feature.
Yeah,
I think at the very least, it's a step in the right direction. If I'm being optimistic, I mean, it sounds like they're definitely hearing us, saying, "Hey, the overlay for communication in this game is really bad." And then that was a couple of weeks ago on the Procast for sure. And then I know a bunch of people have been talking about it since the garage change, and at least now we have pinned messages, so it's something. So they're working on it. Hopefully, maybe more stuff, which is cool.
Yeah, someone brought up an interesting point where that other game they work on, those Trials games, one of the games recently got finished. So they might have more dev power now, and that's why a bunch of these bug fixes came through, which we can talk about some of the bug fixes, some of the more important ones that happened. But I think that's the important Team Wars change stuff, where mostly it was just the upgrades and the crowns. And then obviously the new kid change, which is now 14 in bronze and then +2 for every league from there, which means that gold will be 20, which is pretty good. I honestly maybe would have started at 16 and gone up to 22, because if you look up kind of in the ranks, the gold part of legend would probably be new kid 22 right now. But where they have it at, it's completely fine as well. But
I don't mind it.
14 is definitely way better than fucking 11, that's for sure.
Yeah. Right.
And like it made a difference in my games this week. Like I was able to kind of more reliably say, okay, the new kids app's going to finish off this unit. Like I got pretty close on a couple of them, but
the zap was
it was just at least relevant. Like
the blast 11, was most. I think more important, the blast did more damage. Because,
the blast does do more damage too.
Because that really plays a big part into like being able to defend after losing a bar. Because like we said last time, sometimes you can use that to your advantage, but sometimes you just need to just give up on a push if everything's gonna die.
Yeah.
But otherwise, previously you could, with Hallelujah or something like that in the deck, like anything could just push right in and it wouldn't really matter. For sure. The new kid change was a good change. And the way they did it was good. I'm glad they didn't let you like upgrade it or something stupid like that. I think that would have been a little bit. It's interesting, but I think it's a little bit over the top for no reason.
Yeah, no, but going off what I said, the new change definitely made a vast difference.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah. But
we can't, dude, it's so bad. Luke, it's so funny because like when we're talking and you're talking, we can kind of hear you, but then like when you go off on your own, it's just like it's I don't understand. I don't know, man. It's bad.
Is it really bad?
See, that right there we heard you perfect, but then if you go on a monologue, it just starts getting worse as it goes on. Alright,
I'm gonna go get my family off the Wi-Fi. I'll be right
You don't gotta do that. Oh, this is gonna be great. Bye, everybody. Kick off. We're gonna hear him in the background. Grandma, get off Netflix. Why are you watching in 4K? You don't have a 4K TV.
It'll just be more stream hype. The longer the stream goes, the better the quality of Luke's Wi-Fi will
Yeah,
get.
the setup will get better. Eventually, he'll be hardwired into the modem.
I wonder if he can switch to his phone or something.
It's probably
Sure.
better, honestly, to just use his phone. I don't know why he wouldn't do that.
Yeah, can't he just do the Discord app and then just like hold the phone up
It
like that?
works. I think Tech did that on some. Anyway, let's move to the next topic while he's figuring stuff out. We got probably the most interesting change, I think, of all of the stuff. The card event changes. And if you didn't know, what the card event changes are going to do is that when the event of the weekend is the card events where you have to pick or you have to play specific cards to get the points, what's going to happen is that those cards are going to be leveled up to the highest level card that you have that is in the same theme and the same rank as that card, and not including spells. So for instance, the example they used was if you have, or I'll use my example. I have a level 6 Bebe, Buccaneer Bebe in Adventure. So let's say if Sheriff Cartman or if Sharon or if Wendy, Captain Wendy, if either of those three were the cards for the events, I could use them at level 6. So it lets you use the cards at a higher level even though you don't have them there, which is good and bad. Chris, what do you think about those changes?
I think it's super cool. I mean, it's fun for a lot of reasons. It helps events, which, I mean, nobody wants to play with like a level 1 Buccaneer because you have to play in ladder, so it's not going to scale. Now that it's actually scaling on some form, events will be playable for everyone without completely destroying their rank if you're ranking up. And on another note, it could be kind of fun to try cards that you don't have at 6 and say, oh wow, maybe I need to spend time upgrading this card. And one of my favorite things about the last dev update.
Yeah.
Overall, like, I think it makes it to where you don't need to have as many level 5 or level 6 rares or level 6 commons in every single theme. You can spread yourself out a little bit more, and as long as you have maybe 2 or 3 level 6 commons and then 2 or 3 level 5, level 6 rares in each theme, you'll probably be able to at least splash one of those cards in, like, more than likely, and then all of your cards will be up to that level. So it might make your decks even more competitive, in the correct weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, it's going to reward people who go wide with their accounts versus specializing their accounts. Like, now you really want to have, with all like TVT especially, like that mode kind of rewards people who went a little bit wider with their accounts versus went very narrow and focused with their accounts, especially among free-to-play players and non-whales.
Right. I think an interesting implication of it is actually the thought that bringing a common to 7 for some people might actually be worthwhile now, where because getting a common to 7 when you have like 1,000 copies of it already is close to like bringing a rare from like 200 to 600, which a lot of us are doing right now as far as like total time that it takes. So so somebody bringing one adventure common up to 7 and letting them play during the events any adventure common to 7 would be pretty interesting. And at the top levels you could really see it change some rankings around every week based on people's decks and based on what the event cards are. So some people could really grind out ranks with the changes. So I hope that will make them not use card events for like the end of season kind of stuff. That would be kind of shitty.
That's an interesting. I had never considered that before. That's such a cool point, man. That's like utilizing. Hey, now I get to use level 7 astronaut butters or whatever, just because you have another sci-fi common at 7. That's smart. Yeah, now you've given everyone a way to manipulate the system. That's going to be crazy at end of season.
Well, because we probably all have one common that's closer than all the other ones, whether it's because nobody requested him ever, or you requested him early, and he's like, mine closest is Marine Craig, because Marine Craig was my first level 6 common, and because I was all about that chip deck, baby. And so now he's at like 1,500 out of 3,000 or something. So it wouldn't really take me that long to figure out.
I also just think
Get
that this
there.
change is just them trying to find another way to try and combat deranking a little bit, like to disincentivize it a little bit more. Because now, people are like, oh, well, I'll be able to play with cards that are pretty high level, even if I don't have them at that level. So now people may not feel like there's as much of a reason to derank. I mean, people are obviously still going to derank. I don't think it's gonna do much to lower the amount of deranking, but I think that's kind of part of the reason why they made the change as well.
Right, yeah, because the big part of deranking for the card events was being able to use card levels that aren't as good, because like, this is an event card, but it's only level 4 instead of level 5. But if you go down to 4,000 legend, you could use it at that point and still have a chance to win with a 7-point deck or something like that. So yeah, that 7-point deck now might actually be competitive based on what other cards you have leveled. Which if it's your deck, like, you're gonna be fine. And so that means you can play like a fucking level 6 Warboy Tweak, which will really be some, if you have a level 6 Enforcer, which will really add some fun, different combos in there, kind of like what Team Wars is doing as well.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Capium said in chat that somewhere they said, and this could have been before this changed. Well, yeah, no, I remember
chat
now.
Over Chris's face.
Huh?
Nothing. I had moved chat and it was over your face.
Oh, yeah, he said that, and I remember this now, that they're trying to avoid card-based events towards end of season anyway, which I don't feel like I've seen. I think the last end of season event was lockers, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, for sure. We haven't had card event in a while because I think they were trying to figure out what to do with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, because there's always people that complain about what cards are chosen and it benefits some people over the others, and then it always turns into get your games in early Friday so that everybody else is running event decks, so that you have a chance to win. Because if
grinding Hilo against event decks.
Yeah, if you're a 7-point deck going up against a 2-point deck, you're most likely not gonna have a chance unless the the deck points were perfect for you that week.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. It's great when it lines up perfectly and your natural deck is like +4.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 4 is such a good number. 3 is very doable to just get a couple locker limits and finish the event, depending on whether it's 100 or 150. But 4 you can finish it in locker limit and a half usually, depending on the points.
For sure.
Luke, I'm gonna try it again. What do you think about the card event level changes? How does that help your deck or affect your problem?
Test your mic first. Let's let him like count to 5 or something.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
You guys hear me well?
You got to keep talking though.
No?
Yeah, no, you're good so far.
Okay. So, I really like this change. I think it's definitely the best change.
And there it goes.
Added in the most recent update. Is it going bad?
Dude, that is so weird. Try just turn your video off. Honestly, that might be the best solution. Something about your video moving while you talk, I think, is fucking it up. All right, now let's go. Oh, now we lost the voice.
No.
Luke, don't hang up on me.
On your phone.
Oh, he's back. Luke.
Can you not hear me when I turn off the camera?
That's
No.
weird.
So it's not going through your headset. Not that makes a difference. What about your phone, man? What about just doing the Discord app and then go to LTE?
I could do that. Alright.
Did you just hang up and answer?
I just like step out for a minute.
Yeah, you'll be able to join right back in, I think.
Alright.
Hopefully it doesn't mix you guys around when he comes back, and then I gotta change
Is that gonna
the name.
fuck the video up? Oh no.
Oh no, it's all fucked up now. Wait, I'll fix it.
Did I move? Am I under
I'll
somebody
fix
else
it.
now?
I'll fix it. Oh my god. Luke ruined everything. No, it's okay. Watch this. Na 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 na. Do-do-do-do-do. Persevering through the issues. What's up, guys? We lost a couple of the things, but we'll be just fine. I think the only thing. Oh, he's coming back. We can go back. Hopefully, he didn't change the order. Hey, what up, Luke?
You guys hear me good?
Dude, that's better.
Yeah.
Alright.
Let's get back to the Procast.
My AirPods are big flex.
Hey, it's better.
So, this is definitely my favorite change that has come with the update. It really helps out the lower ranked people compared to the higher ranked people. Because going back on what you said, Glanz, if you have a 7-point deck compared to like a 2-point deck, you probably don't have a chance to win. And I think it was the last card usage event we had was that Satan event back in the beginning of January. And I had beat top 5 player. I can't remember who it was, only because he was running like a 4 or 5-point event deck, which really could mess you up or make a difference on your gameplay or your rank throughout the entire season. Good thing it was this event was in the very beginning of the season, but it still makes a difference, and it's definitely something that needed to be changed. So this change can probably prevent those things from happening, give those lower ranked people a better chance, and have everyone maintain the rank they should be at.
Yeah, dude, I completely agree. Because I know SDNW had done some events with a 1-point deck, and he finished the event with just grinding out 150 wins because
Jesus,
he didn't want to lose his rank, and changing even one card would probably do that for his deck because he's got such a nuanced deck. But it's like it's like trying to change the chip deck. Like even changing one card really fucks it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. It'll really help the people who care about their rank, and then it'll really help the people who just want to have some fun and play some different cards. Like my adventure lock deck could be sweet some weeks because I could get like level 6 Buccaneer Bebe and I could have level 6 like Captain Wendy. That would be a goddamn nightmare. I'm excited.
Dude, I've been there. I'm consistently good with the 2-point deck. I can grind that out throughout the weekend comfortably.
Yeah, 2 points. It puts you at if you do triple locker limit, like you're there.
Which is pretty much what I do anyways.
Right.
A locker limit per day. Yeah, assuming that I have the time. It's not every day, but I've been in the struggle.
Yeah, I agree. I've done the 35-point Tuesday events with like a 1-point deck, and then just won 5 extra games.
I've been on both ends of the spectrum. I've done a 9-point deck, and then just waited to get D rankers or whatever, and then just throttle them, and then be done with the event in half an hour. And I guess I'm in a spot where I care about my rank, and I do. Maybe I'll run a 1-point deck if it's a week before end of season.
Luke's going in the fridge. the benefits of being mobile.
It's so much clearer though. That was such a good choice.
Yeah, it's way better. All right. I think this is one of the coolest things they've done. At first I was kind of like, fuck, that's weird, but I mean David's decks are gonna be hilarious. But
oh my god, yeah.
All level 7.
Yeah.
Level 7 everything, no matter what.
That'll be it'll just be really cool, and to see some of those cards see the light of day. Like I'd love to see a level 6 Sharon coming at me. I think that would be fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Or level 6 Warboy, and Warboy might be getting tweaked later.
Was that wordplay on purpose?
That was awesome.
I love it.
But yeah, Warboy and the hyperdrive stuff is on the list, as well as Satan and BHK. Is Ninju on that list too? That they were talking about?
Yeah, no, he is. They announced that.
Luke, we can't see your face.
But we don't know what the changes are yet.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, honestly, we don't know. We just assume whether it's a nerf or a buff. Watch him bring through a Warboy tweak fucking nerf because he's just too damn good.
Warboy tweak to 7 cost. He's
I would laugh my ass off if they nerfed Warboy tweak.
Warboy tweak
increases energy, but the war cry lasts for like 11 seconds.
Like, do we know what any of the changes are that they've announced, or we just know what cards
Pretty
are being
predictable.
changed?
Yeah, they're on a watch list. So I don't know if it means that they haven't like really ran the numbers to try to balance them, or if it means they're like in the process of it. I don't know what that means, but my word on the street is that Pope's going to 7, and I don't know if the people who I've heard that from have any actual knowledge or not. But that's been kind of the word on the street for a while too. So if it's finally happening now,
I don't know if Pope going back to 7 is a good idea.
Yeah, I feel like it kind of the potential loss of 3 energy from a lightning bolt is just too devastating, and it's almost too obvious. You almost have to use Pope to only heal back like Witch Doctor or somebody like level 4 drop, because if you're doing it on like a Man Bear Pig or a Grand Wizard Cartman or a Sexy Nun or something like that, it's gonna be too obvious, and you're never gonna be able to get the Pope off without the risk of losing 2 energy from an Unholy is pretty fucking bad.
Yeah, for sure.
He's already a risky card. If that's true, then that's gonna suck a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I wish they would have done something like bring him back at like 50% health or something like that.
They could make his animation take a little bit longer, like give you a little bit more time to interact.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, it could be something like that.
If they do, then I hope it's not like an enormous, like they don't need to make it easy mode to just like lightning bolt the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it should still be like, you need to be ready for it. As long as you're like super quick on it, then you can nail it.
Because right now lightning bolt has to be pretty instant. Like pretty much as soon as you can target it with the lightning bolt, you have to be letting it go.
Right.
And then
so I could understand giving it like a little like extra time, but not a lot. Like I would still want that to be high risk, high reward kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know what you'd do other than just they already nerfed the stats, right? And that wasn't enough for him. But,
and the walk speed too.
Yeah, the knockback and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking with that. I think there's just so many low level people that get murdered by the Pope plays, because I mean Pope's a punishing play in the top leagues, and sometimes I'll give up after somebody Popes back their level 4 Grand Wizard or something. I'll be like, well, good game, man. You had it in your hand. Good job. But
yeah.
I mean, a lot of the times you can still defend from it.
Yeah,
or snipe it.
Yeah, like you said, it really just depends on. A lot of it's just RNG of what you get in your hand and when you get it in your hand versus what your opponent gets and when they get it. And if they're able to pull off their deck's little combo or little trick or whatever their deck's designed to do, and you're just, drawing cards at like weird times, like you're off tempo with your deck, then your opponent's probably going to win no matter what. Even if you out level them a little bit, sometimes that RNG in the hand can really determine games.
Exactly.
And I think that's how it is with Pope, because Pope can just really like take a good situation for you, like where you get good RNG and your opponent doesn't, and just push it over the top.
Right.
At that point, your opponent just doesn't have a way to come back.
I mean, that's the whole thing.
What was that?
What did you say?
I said at LHM's Youth Pastor Craig Stand of Many Moons combo.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, man, like, because you have to get that cycle, right?
Yeah,
that's exactly what Abio was saying.
Yeah, no, like if I have the perfect hand, it is very hard for me to lose. And I just recently had dropped Santa Claus, but I was being super gimmicky and running Youth Pastor Craig, Stand of Many Moons, and Santa. So basically, what I would do was, if I had the perfect hand, is just drop Youth Pastor Craig, drop the Stand, and then drop the Santa. And since Stand's level 4 and so is Santa, it's going to be pretty devastating. So if you can just get the cycle off, and even if they outlevel you, let's say like level 4, 6 element Randy, level 4 Mecha, level 4 Shield Maiden, level 5 Coop, stuff like that, it's just going to be multiple abilities that do like 700 damage. So there's really not much you can do. I've beaten many top 25 players with just that gimmick. So it's definitely all about Chris, it's okay.
All right, man. It's a great play.
If they don't have even without the youth pastor in there, if they don't have like the unholy to kill the Santa or the power bind to stop, or whatever play they would have to stop that combo, if they don't have it in their hand at the start, which is possible, like it's not impossible, you could lose right there. Like at that moment, you could lose.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like when a hook hand hits a mecha, game over.
Yeah.
I mean, I think really. Thank you. I think that's the thing about like really good Pope players. No matter what happens with him, they'll wait to see what removal you have, and even if it's until overtime, until they play Pope or force removal somehow. So if you're like a diehard Pope player and you're using Ground Wizard Cartman or Man Bear Pig or whatever it is, whatever changes happen to him, hopefully the diehards will be able to work around it, because I think the people that are best with him know, okay, I mean, in the worst situation possible, he's playing Adventure Mystic, he could possibly have 2 removals, and I haven't seen Lightning Bolt yet, even though something got UC'd. Just never play him, if you're playing that safe. He's going to be viable no matter what.
Yeah, I agree. He's not going to completely... Even if he went to 7, he wouldn't completely lose his play, but you wouldn't probably see it in as many top competitive decks, which is usually what we're kind of talking about because of like usually what players we are here. But yeah, you'll still see Pope in silver. You'll see low legend, so you'll see, because it's a punishing play. And especially as we start maybe seeing some cards that have some higher costs, shit like Satan and stuff like that. Satan is a bad example because he blows up his friendly Pope, but
not always.
Not always, yeah. You got to leave that Satan at 3 so he doesn't kill the Pope.
Yummy.
Strategy. And then bless Hallelujah after. I'm sorry, Luke, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, so going back to what I was saying earlier, I've had people like come to me directly and have people even like complain about myself as a player on Facebook. One player messaged me on Discord saying how I'm worse than a Dougie user for using level 4 Santa Many level 4 Santa. And I just kind of laughed at it because I don't know why anyone would try to like go out of their way to say something. Like, don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah, man.
If there's an opportunity for a good setup in your deck, take advantage of it. Like, even if that means if you want to be a Dougie player and run like Dougie Freeze, like you got to take advantage of those optimal options.
It sucks, but everybody has the option. Like, I mean, everybody can meme on Dougie users all day. I don't use Dougie, but he's in the game for everybody to use. And if you want to win, and that's how you're gonna win,
right,
everybody's got the choice.
If you love Dougie and you got Dougie to level 6, even though he wasn't that great, and that Dougie swap happened, man, that must have made you feel real good.
Yeah, I'm sure. They're out there.
Feel really bad because people are like, oh, people are gonna copy me with my Dougie play.
Yeah, I was the original Dougie user.
No, but I never ran Dougie, and I don't think I ever will want to run Dougie.
I use him sometimes on my Adventure Lock deck, just because it helps me finish off games quicker. That's pretty much it.
I love the silver lining, or silver lining's not the right phrase I'm looking for, but double-edged sword maybe for all the OG Dougie users that are both blessed and pissed because now everyone's complaining about them,
right.
But they're so much better now. What are you gonna do?
Like, part of me wants to stop playing Dougie because now I feel like I'm some bandwagon poser. But I've been playing Dougie since the beginning. I have a level 7 Dougie, guys. Come on.
Yep. Before we get away from that, this is a serious issue, and Dougie does need to be nerfed proper. they messed him up. He's just too strong.
I have a better idea. Please extract all Dougies from this game.
Or just delete him. Just delete him.
Just, boom, gone.
Yeah, so when he goes rocketing towards New Kid, he just keeps going.
He goes through the phone. He never touches New Kid.
No, just runs past the New Kid. Like you just
right out of the
barrels,
code.
Barrels away, just rolls right
barrels away.
Yeah, man,
shit.
He's too strong right now. It needs to be addressed. Why are all these Mystic cards on this list? Touch Dougie again. He's too strong.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's go to the next update, which was One of the more important ones, but not super important, just kind of an interesting one. I can't get it. It's snapping. The legend counter. Now, this when they said it in the update, I thought it was going to be something a little bit different than it is. They said that there's going to be legend counters on some card packs, and that's going to guarantee that you get a legend after a certain amount of time opening them. Now, I thought that would be something with like PvP tickets or PvP packs or like free packs, stuff like that, where every single source might eventually, permanently, or not permanently, but eventually give you a legendary after X amount of time or openings or whatever. But it seems to be that it's only, all that means is that they're visibly showing you like the like in the premium packs, the buy 3 and guarantee, like the ninja or whatever, the packs that they've been doing. Basically, they're just showing that.
All they're doing is adding their well pack gimmick to every fucking pack in the shop. I was the same way, man. When I first saw that, I was like, "Oh, cool!" And I was thinking maybe it would apply to PvP packs, and like you would be able to, like, after like 50 PvP packs or something, you would be guaranteed to get a legendary or something like that.
Exactly.
And nope, just well packs, just adding the well pack gimmick to every pack in the shop to entice people who have too much money or no impulse control to go ham.
Or stacked grandma.
Yeah, those packs just aren't. I mean, the first thing that we do is tell people not to buy those packs, right? Like that's usually our first noob help tip, is don't buy those packs. If you're gonna buy those packs, buy the upgrade material ones. Those ones are all right. Don't buy any of the other ones. And now that, I mean, I guess it's sort of good that there's like some sort of additional incentive if you are buying those packs. If you're one of those people who saves up the 700
you still
gold,
should not be buying those
you shouldn't
packs.
be.
Those packs are dog shit.
No,
like
even
with the guaranteed legendary
dude, absolutely
attached to it, like they're still dog shit packs.
Absolutely, man. But there are people who buy it. I promise you that. And it did go retroactive though, because I have, I guess I've bought 2 of those 2,500 packs in my game time. So if you have already opened a bunch of those, like bronze packs or gold packs, those already go towards the number. So I don't know. Maybe there's somebody who saves up every 2 weeks from an event, he buys a gold pack from the event gold. Who knows?
Here's my thing.
I'm sure there's somebody out there that this is going to benefit, but for the majority of people, like, just don't
It's
waste
stupid.
your
No,
money
I
on that
agree.
bullshit.
I will say that the visual showing of it for the premium packs is a nice thing to have, because some people might not understand that. Like if it says guaranteed hanky if you buy 3, if you get hanky on the first one, it resets it. So you're not guaranteed a hanky on the third one, you're guaranteed a hanky on the fourth one then after that. Go ahead.
I have a thing on this, and I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think that this is a new incentive. I think this was already built into the game, and now they're just showing us the actual percentage choice.
It's possible.
Yeah, that's possible.
I mean, they recently introduced, not terribly long ago, buy 4, get 1 guaranteed, buy 3, get 1 guaranteed. I think it's the exact same thing, but now we get to see the little counter. I don't think they added anything different.
Well, it's just,
could be right.
If it wasn't in the game already, I don't know if it was for the lower packs. It could have definitely been just there already for like the premium packs and stuff. But really what it's doing is it's just solidifying their percentages. So when the percentages in those packs, if it's get 1 every 4, it's like 26% chance to get the legend in those packs. If it's 1 in every 3, it's like 33% chance to get it, right? It's the exact moment. So if you do 3 packs and you wouldn't have gotten, if for some reason the rolls would have been 1 out of 3, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 3, and you missed it all 3 of the times, it's still going to give you that 1 because statistically you should have gotten it. So they're just they're trying to solidify into their stats, which then will probably, there'll be less refunds because they're advertising it and actually adhering to those percentages. That might have been an issue.
Yeah,
But it's
You're not wrong
interesting to
about
have to
that.
like force it.
if nothing else, I mean, I'm always going to try to be a little bit glass half full. It's showing that they're willing to make just aesthetic changes, which I think we all really want, even if they didn't. I mean, it could have been transparent. If I'm right for whatever reason and nothing changed, they could say, "Hey, we added a counter. Here you go. Now you can just see this little visual box." But yeah, I mean, I'm happy to
Well,
see it at
I
least.
think
But
they realized, like probably through testing, that when they add that little message to packs, it incentivizes, it triggers people's impulses a little bit more, and say, okay, well, now I know that I'm, even if my luck is shitty, I'll get at least 3 legendaries if I buy all 10 of these packs, and
Sure.
maybe if I'm a little bit luckier, maybe I'll get 5 or 6 legendaries, but I'm at least going to get 3. So I think they realized that type of advertising works, and now they're just trying to extend it to other parts of the game
milk
in order
off
to
of
get
it. Yeah,
people to make more
definitely.
money.
Can somebody confirm? Because I don't know yet, and I'm sorry if I missed it. Anybody that's bought this newest pack, like the Mystic pack or the Premium one or whatever, does it reset once you get
Yeah,
a legendary? It does.
that's the
Okay.
point. That's the point, to
Okay.
show that it
All
does
right.
that, I think, because that was confusing people.
hmm
And
Bought
yeah,
packs
but
last
couldn't it
week.
be a bio? No, go ahead, Luke. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, do you guys remember those packs? I think it was a week or 2 weeks ago. They were just neutral packs that had buy 3 get 1 guaranteed legendary.
Yeah.
For so I had bought 3 thinking I am guaranteed to get a legendary on the 3rd pack 100% of the time. So, because I had bought the 1st pack and didn't get anything. I bought the 2nd pack and had gotten a legendary and did not know that the counter resets.
Right.
And then went ahead and bought the 3rd pack, and when I got nothing, I thought that was like a glitch or a problem. But then when they said the counter resets, I was like, well, I wish I had known that. Otherwise,
Right.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't have bought in the last pack. And
Right, because on those
that's how they get you.
packs, if you buy the 1st pack and on any of those, like buy 3 get guaranteed a legend, if you get one and on the 1st pack or the 2nd pack you get a legend, stop. That's it. You maximized your payout unless you really need that next one. Because what happens then is that the cycle gets thrown off and you might not even get 3 because or if it's the 2nd one, because then you can't get 3 cycles in, or I guess if it matters if it's every 4 or every 3. God, I can't get this. But I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, it's also could be it could be that they have the stats that a lot of people are actually buying these packs, and this is going to benefit them because, like I said, it retroactively does it. But I mean, that's probably less likely than them. Yeah, like these packs are never bought. How can we maybe get people to buy them more? That's probably more likely. Because I can't imagine too many people buying those packs.
I think that's a pretty bad way. I think they should have just improved the value you get from those packs overall, because like those packs are just like terrible fucking value
Yeah,
for what you're paying for 'em.
I agree, and I completely agree to that sentiment, and I think that Redlings does too.
Well, and I know that they want to make it to where like the weekly special packs that they offer, it makes those packs look more tantalizing or whatever, special because they're
in comparison
targeted. Right. So, but at the same time, like, why do you want to offer something that's just like worthless? Like, why? I mean, no, like, only people who just don't know any better those are the only people spending money on those, or just people who don't know any better.
Right.
If they keep this in, I mean, they're going to keep it in either way, I'm sure. If they just added it to PvP pack refreshes, I'm sure they would generate a ton of revenue, even if it's 35 refreshes or
even 50 refreshes would be something to motivate me to just like refresh packs more often. If I know I get a legendary every guaranteed 50 PvP packs, I'm gonna be like, well, yeah, if I can get a legendary, then I'm gonna want to refresh packs more, which makes them more money. So I don't see why it's so difficult for them to only make it on. Let's offer them a guaranteed legendary after they buy packs. Because when I saw a Reddit post on for the premium pack shop, you guys know the silver, gold, and purple packs that cost 500, 700, and 2,500. The ratio for it for the silver packs is 50 packs bought. The gold packs are 37 bought, and the purple packs are 10 bought. And that all three of those are like over $200, which is like a little sickening, because if you're paying over $200 for one legendary, that's a problem. And even offers, just in general, if you're paying $250 for an entire set of 10 packs, but the packs only have like a 30% chance of a legendary, I think that's messed up, because I don't know if anyone else can compare to this, but I had once bought all 10 packs that had a 30% chance for a legendary, and I didn't get a single legendary. So I was a little disappointed by that.
Yeah, and that's why they started doing the guaranteed, because that is bullshit. That people would get that unlucky.
I don't want to take away from Luke's point or anything, which I agree with, by the way, man. But back to the PvP thing, just if anybody wants to get it to Red Links, or if Red Links is ever listening, that's so much more money, because if let's say it's 50, let's say it's 100 PvP pack refreshes, whatever it is, then people that are totally free to play can, maybe they're a waiter and they got an extra $5 that day, and they're like, oh shit, you know what? I can refresh 20 packs with this, and then for sure in a month I'll get a legendary. I can have a safety net of, I'm definitely going to get a legendary and 100 refreshes if I get another good tip today that I want to spend on South Park Foam Destroyer. Just put that into PvP packs, and then I think this little guaranteed legendary thing will be a little bit better, because right now I don't think it's of very much value.
Yeah, even your free packs every day, if you're doing every 4 hours, let's say you do it every 4 hours while you're awake, and you do them perfectly timed, so you get, one when you wake up, one at lunch, one after work, one right before you go to bed. So you're getting 4 PvP packs a day. And if it was 100, that's a couple months. It's not.
Yeah, I like Capium's idea better. I think they should put a counter on the free packs.
The free pack would be.
Oh,
good
that would
too.
be cool.
Free packs, yeah.
Well, it should be for both of them, honestly. But
I don't know. Like I don't.
Packs?
I think you should be able to get, as long as you're opening your packs every day, like I think you should be able to get at least one legendary a month out of your.
Well, yeah, one a month is definitely like a solid thing. Like, because I'm trying to be realistic, but how much could one legendary really benefit? Like, okay, so let's say you got all your legendaries at 3. One legendary could definitely benefit if you're like a free-to-play player. But with most people, you need like 8 legendaries. So it's not going to kill Red Links to offer a free legendary every once. They just choose not to do it to maybe make more money, but which is a smarter.
See,
choice.
I think it really matters to get that one legend when you're a new player.
Yeah, no, I get that.
You gotta think about that. Like, you'd be surprised how many people, like, their challenge life changed when they got their first Satan, or their ladder changed when they got Satan the first time. Yeah, I mean, I didn't get him for the longest time, and I still only have 1 copy of him. But I think that's definitely a skewed, biased vision. I think that we all have in that like, oh, what is one card gonna do? But they have to look at it for like everybody playing, not just the people who need 32 legends, the people who really benefit from one legend, really, really do. And so that's why the free shit that they get out always isn't very much. Because when we look at a little free pack, like, oh, something happened, here's 50 cash, and for us it's like, oh, one refresh, whoop-de-doo. But for somebody else, that's 25 fourth lockers that they can get, to try to dig for extra stuff or something like that. So there's definitely definitely a different way to view that. But I think that 1 a month is a good way to do it. Like, if there was a daily login bonus, the bonus should be like on the 7th day you get an epic every month, and then at the end of every month, or like a 30-day period, whatever it would be, you get a legend. And then that's just a cycle. That's a perfectly understandable thing. So that's why with the events, why couldn't they do once a month? It's a legendary event, and if you finish the event, you're guaranteed that legendary.
Guaranteed the legendary,
at least 1
which
copy.
Is
Like, I don't know. There's not enough legendary events for them to not give 1 card per event.
It'd be cool if they did like one day you'll get like 3 commons, then one day you'll get like 2 rares, and then one day you'll get maybe some PvP tickets or coins
Right.
or what, or some cash or something. There's sprinkle some cash in there, but then like you said, like at the end of every week you get an epic, and then at the end of the month, as long as you log in every day, you get a
Legendary.
legendary.
Yeah, that's definitely a solid idea. But I was trying to say it from like Red Link's perspective, like we can't just offer one legendary because we need to be able to profit off stuff. But one legendary may not be a lot to some people, but to a majority of free-to-play players and players down in the lower ranks, it can really help them get the next level up. Say, like, their stand of many moons is 3 out of 4, and they're really looking to get that 4 out of 4 so they can progress and have better results because they have a higher level legendary. That free legendary would really help them out. And for a lot of people, the upper people like David or Coffin or Voodoo, just listing off some names, it may not help them as much. But it's like a balance. It's going to help some people. It's not going to do much for other people. It is what it is. But they definitely should take a look into changing something like that. The best thing was what you said with the daily logging schedule. I think that's a nice idea.
For sure.
Yeah, I think
100%.
another thing we have to think about though is that like the game's been out for a year. Even if it was in a legend every month, that's enough legends where if you got lucky, you got that level 3 legend already. Which,
it doesn't have
isn't
to
a
be
lot,
that
but
quick.
like, you know what? Legend a month's not that bad. You need 8.
No,
yeah,
not now. Not with all the well
Yeah, not
packs.
now.
Like it's like legends are raining from the sky if you want to spend enough money.
Yeah.
Like they really like kind of imbalance the game. Like honestly, like from offering the crazy well packs and then the changes they made to legendaries and epics, all they did was really make it like the scale worse between whales in the game and non-whales, because like back when it was commons and stuff, when like the adventure fantasy decks were running the field and poison decks were everywhere and commons were like the big thing, like you had a lot of free to play players who were still able to kind of compete really well at the top, but not anymore. If you're not spending money opening up those well packs and getting those legendaries to level 4 and 5, you're really not competing at the top, and there's no way around it now. Like they really transformed the game into a very heavy well game, and it's really unfortunate because I think it was a little bit better back when you could be a more casual or free to play player as long as you were playing every day and doing your requests and maybe refreshing some PvP packs here and there. You could compete. You might not be able to play every single combination of themes, but you could focus on one theme and you could have one really competitive deck.
Right.
And you could do just as good as the people who were spending hundreds or thousands or whatever, how much money, because back then even the well packs weren't even that great. I mean, they were
that one Medusa one was ridiculous, but
that's when it started to really change the game. With offers. What was it? It was like I think it was the first time they had done 20 packs instead of 10, because I remember long ago it was 6 and it went to 6 to 10, and with these they did 20, and they were thinking like, oh, we can almost guarantee that every whale that runs this theme will buy all of these packs. And I can say that from my perspective that they definitely got me with those. Like, let's offer them for 1,000 cash each and give them a 50% chance at that legendary. They really got a lot of people with that, and that's when their offers started to get better with, you can buy 3 of these packs and we'll give you a legendary guarantee.
Right. I mean, the 50-50 was definitely like the decline of the whaling packs. They could help free-to-play players a lot more with, the fact that the number 1 player in the world in challenge mode gets 5 epics is a little completely asinine. Maybe the top 10 players in challenge get guaranteed 1 legendary. The top 100 get a chance at it. Maybe expand ladder to top 50 or top 75. and then top
Please.
500 and top 1000.
Not like the only mode in this game right now that's, in my opinion, at all rewarding. Oh, I guess challenge mode is fairly decently rewarding, and then the TVT rewards are actually, I think, fairly good right now.
Yeah, they're
For sure.
nice.
Like PvP packs suck, lockers suck. Shit, what else? Other than like the legendary well packs, like I don't know, like I would really like to see them make lockers more rewarding and make
Definitely.
PvP packs more
Oh,
rewarding.
actually, that is something we didn't talk about the card
Oh
event
shit! Yeah, we
changes,
did skip that.
is there is
Oh,
going to be
events.
the locker changes for the card events where you're going to have the chance at 2 times lockers for the limits, or for the locker
Oh, yeah.
limits
Double
during those
loot.
card events. So that's going to actually really be important if you're really trying to maximize your efforts in South Park. It's going to be important to take on Fridays and Thursdays to time it right so that you get 4 locker limits on card event weekends.
Which means dedicating time rather than money, which is again a step in the right direction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, at the same time, the game might not have been here if they wouldn't have made those switches, because like you said, if the top players in a game like this can be free to play, it's not going to last very long. So for the good of the game, that had to have happened. But I agree with you that them taking away the free to play like common power almost completely was rude. I guess is the best way to put it.
It was, it was just a fucking kick in the teeth is what it was. Like there was no reason for it. If you're already, and I honestly, I don't think that they made the decision to do this like when just before they did it. I think that a lot of this stuff was planned out from the beginning.
It could have been, yeah. That's very possible.
Like I think they planned it out so that at the beginning of the launch of the game, that commons and rares would be the most powerful cards. That way, the people who just went into it spending a bunch of money, or the people who just got really lucky early on, didn't just completely dominate. Get your player base up, get people into it, get people playing it, and then change everything and get people to start spending money by introducing the whale packs. Like, I mean, you get people hooked and then you switch it up on them and start raking in the cash, man.
I mean, we talked about that last week too, and there's another new example because of Apex Legends coming out. This game is completely free to play. You don't have to put a cent into it, but if you want to be a little bit better, you can spend money. Let's say you put $60. There's some players that are top 100 that are legit free to play, and that's a phenomenal rank. Apex Legends is the same way. I think I haven't played it yet, but I know you can. I think you can buy guns. I'm pretty sure you could buy guns, like better guns, rather than just grinding gameplay. Every game is like this. This is just the video game industry now. It's super rare that we get a Spider-Man PS4. Like that's going to be really hard to come across now. It's just the game. I mean, Phone Destroyer is particularly bad about it, but I mean, it sucks to just sit and complain about it all the time.
I
can't fix the whole gaming industry.
I don't think that's not a fix necessarily. It's a shift. Like, do you want to go to the days where you spent $60, you bought a game, and that was it? That's what you got. No patches, no fixes, no updates, no DLC, no nothing. That's it.
Well, that's not necessarily true. There were plenty of games that came out that came with patches, that came with updates, and there were some that came with DLC that you could add on to it. Yeah, you would have to pay for the DLC, and it could vary anywhere from $5 to $20 to $30, depending on how extensive the DLC was for. But there are plenty of games out there that you pay one fixed price for. You get an awesome game experience, and they continue to either develop for it or add on to it. I mean, look at No Man's Sky, for God's sake. That was like one game that came out. It was like shit at first when it released, but goddamn, man, for the last 3 years, they've still been developing on it. They've still been updating it. They've still been releasing like massive changes to the game, and they haven't charged shit for any of those updates. You still got that game for one price, and if you stuck with it and you're still playing it, they're actually making it into like a fairly decent game. It's just taking 3 years to longer than what they promised to do it. But I mean, so there are companies out there that develop games that don't have to rely on this predatory gotcha model. Like, and I hate to see more and more game companies going to this model just to try and make a quick buck, because all of these games have very low development costs, very low maintenance and upkeep costs. Like, you don't have to have a large team to put this together. Like, it's not a very intensive game.
Well, yeah, for South Park too. Yeah, it's hard to compare this and like something like Apex for sure.
And then the amount of money that these types of games pull in. There's like, if you're wanting to make money, if your sole purpose as a game development outfit is to make as much fucking money as possible, then yes, these types of games 100% make sense. But if you're in this business to make good games, to make games that are fun to play with deep stories that just really are works of art more than anything else, then this model is just dog shit, man. And having this model be the dominant model for profitability is going to hurt the gaming industry long term, because you're going to see more games start to adopt this model, because most companies are in business to make money. I mean, that's just the fact.
You talked about it being fun, which I 100% agree with, and I think that's the problem, cycling back to Phone Destroyer, like the game that we're all playing. This is for me hands down the funnest tower defense game I have ever played. Replace the South Park IP with other little cartoons, and it would still be fun as shit. It sucks that it's gotcha.
See, I disagree with that. If this was not South Park, I don't think you would have half the amount of people playing this game. I would not be playing this game if it was not South Park. South Park, like, the IP is the
I think
only
it's the funnest.
Well, I mean, that's fine. Yeah, and I'm sure other people have that opinion. I know I don't. For me personally, I would not be playing this game if it did not have the South Park IP. And the South Park IP and really the community are the only two things that keep me playing this game. If it wasn't for the community and it wasn't for the IP, I would have been gone a long fucking time ago, because this game is not that engrossing. It's not that much. The only thing that keeps this game fresh is the fact that it's a live P2P or game, PvP game. It's not, you're not playing against AI. Like most of these types of games, you end up playing against the AI.
That's what I like. I don't know another game, unless you can point me into the direction of another game exactly like. Is it just like this with the little 2D animated?
Yeah, it's exactly.
But honestly, I think that South Park is a better game.
It's better, but I think it's more fun and it's better because of the South Park IP.
Well, no. If it was goblins and gnomes, I think the South Park perspective is better, like the sideways version, where Clash Royale is a weird top-down perspective where you can't even really see the units very well. It's not. I don't think it's as good. It might be more technically better, but I don't think as far as like visually and the flow of the game, like South Park, it is a very good. It's not just the IP. I do agree with you about way more people play it and got into it solely because it was South Park, for sure. That is without a doubt. That's totally true.
That's what got me into it. If it wasn't South Park, I would have never even looked at this game.
Yeah,
I never played Clash Royale. This is the first game of this genre that I played, and the only reason that I picked it up was because like, it's a South Park game. Well, I fucking love Stick of Truth. I fucking love Fractured Butthole. Yeah. Like, hell yeah, I'm gonna play this game.
Yeah, no, I saw this game at E3 2017. I had actually snuck off the bathroom during class a lot just to watch E3 because
that's fucking hilarious.
I fucking hated school, and
I fucking hate school.
And I was trying to get as much as E3 as I can before I had to go back to class, and I saw South Park Phone Destroyer, and I was like, I'm gonna play this game because it's South Park, and I was a player that. I'm a player that comes from Clash Royale. I no longer play Clash Royale. I stopped playing a long time ago, but I definitely put like a little bit of spending into that game because it's the same type of idea. You got cards, you can buy things, you can level up stuff fast, you rank up, you can get trophies, you can move on leagues and stuff. It's like the same idea, but definitely the game being South Park and having South Park characters appeal to a more casual type of player or players because it's South Park and The show's been around a long time. People like it. So, and that's how games can really attract people. You got memorable, nostalgic things that you like. You can get back into something, and you can play it just for that sole purpose.
Yeah, man. I don't think you or Bio or Glanzer are wrong at all. I mean, we're still here, a lot of us, because it's South Park. But I agree with Glanzer that the 2D like sideways model, that's way more fun for me than the 3D Clash Royale kind of model. I would, if somebody showed me another game that was exactly the 2D kind of art, like, you know, that even Stick of Truth offers, but it's a tower defense, I would be all over that shit. I would be all over it. But right now there's just Phone Destroyer. So, I mean,
yeah, there's
hopefully
that
more...
one that's like Badlands Brawl or whatever, but that's just not quite the same.
Yeah,
it's one of those
I don't know.
weird
I
ones
mean,
where you're like
it's
castle
fine,
defense or whatever.
I'm not trying to knock anybody for enjoying playing the game. Like every you know, different strokes for different people. But you know, I know with mobile that this type of game is going to dominate the market pretty much indefinitely. Like I don't ever see there being a lot of really deep, rich games coming out on phones. Like maybe in the future phones will end up being a little bit more of a primary gaming device, but right now there's still pretty much secondary gaming devices.
Right.
Yeah.
So I see most of like the big awesome AAA titles still being on PCs and
Right. Yeah, and even if you weren't,
consoles.
it'd be on a tablet or something, not a phone. You know, you wouldn't dedicate your phone to something like that.
Are you not excited for Diablo Immortal or whatever the fuck it's called?
God, fuck, man.
I'm excited for the next Smash character.
Ooh.
For sure. That's a one-time purchase game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be good with that.
Well, you buy DLC, which is definitely worth it if they put Gino in the game.
That's fair. I mean, there's a little, but it's like $5 per character, which is reasonable.
Yeah, and you
It's
buy
like
the
for
fighter
one time.
pass. It's like yeah, with DLC in games, most games are like, all right, we'll give you this lifetime pack for $20, let's say, and then you know things like that are worth it because you buy the game as a one-time thing. You enjoy playing it. You bring it over to a friend's house. You play it there. You play it by yourself online, and you can purchase like an online thing that'll keep getting you extensions over time for like $20-$30. So
Yeah.
I just finished Dragon Quest XI, and that game was fucking amazing. Like
Was it?
I put 95 hours into that game to finish.
you played that on Switch or PC?
On PC.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's coming out on Switch pretty soon.
Yeah, I saw that on the Direct.
The version on Switch, I think, actually has additional quests added to it.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see that. But dude, that game was just amazing, and it was like $50. And
Yeah,
it was
no, Dragon Quest is a
90
fan favorite,
something
popular
hours
game.
of just awesome gameplay, and yeah, it was great.
Man,
I just
wish
got
you could
Persona 5 on sale for $20.
Joker
Nice.
for Smash.
I think I'm neck deep into. Sorry, Glance, my bad. I'm neck deep into Kingdom Hearts right now, which won't have any DLC. At least 40
Sora
hours, and I
for
haven't even
Smash.
finished the game yet.
Yeah,
So-
I heard that was really good too.
Well, no, I mean,
Super-
that's just the
I
thing. Like you
still
guys are
pick it up.
comparing these games that are
Oh,
like,
I know.
clearly they're meant to be like that. Like something like Call of Duty. Like if they want to get more playtime out of it, you have to have some sort of weird DLC or extra content or zombies or something because it's just like multiplayer, just campaign or whatever just isn't enough.
Yeah.
True content. But I think part of the thing with the DLC is that a lot of it is done by different studios and stuff, where you'll have a game that's done by this studio and they do the main game, and then another studio does the or maybe another
DLC.
offshoot of the studio does the DLC, and it's almost like a different feel completely. I don't know if you played some BioShock DLCs before. Those are fucking gnarly weird compared to, or like Watchdog DLCs. They're just way different.
DLC
that's-
for PvE.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! I'd
$20 pack for 50 new levels.
Holy shit, man!
That would be sick, man.
We added neutral levels.
I wish
time.
they would give more PvE levels. I think that's something.
Yeah,
fun.
no, I've been asking for that since day one. Like, add more PvE levels, like a neutral thing, or
I wish
add a new theme entirely, or just reset it so you could just regrind the
I think they're gonna, if they release more PvE content, it'll come when they put out like a
new theme. Yeah, definitely. And that
Yeah.
new theme would most likely be Coon and Friends, or whatever you would want to call it. Superheroes, Coon and Friends.
Yeah,
What if it was a whole new mode? Like, what if we got a whole new mode where it was multiple players versus environment, where you could
that was data mined. Someone had told me they data mined raid battles, and there was one he found where you could have your team going up against a man bear pig raid that would reward you with a whole bunch of rewards, which is a cool concept. Raid battles where you can collaborate or team up with other players to take down a giant boss, and you get rewarded for it. So something like that would be extra super cool.
Yeah, I've
like if they have
that,
three
like every stream we talk about like a raid mode where you could go in, like you go up against Cartman, he's got 1,000,000 health, you can do 1,000 damage, and then you can do 1 raid attack per day or some shit like that, and you just try to kill him in a week or whatever it might be.
No, but South Park is thinking about it because my friend he data mined raids.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt something like that would have been in the mix, because like every other game like this kind of has something like that. So it's not like it's an idea that they're coming up with themselves or anything. They just have to.
Yeah, no. So I definitely think they're still definitely working on that. I think they're just trying to get bigger priorities done right now. Server side is like the dragons from what's that show? God, I'm such a new Game of Thrones. Yeah, Game of Thrones. Thank you. Yeah, server. That's a joke I see a lot. That server side is compared to the dragons.
I'd love to actually be able to reset the story mode in the way where like you could still see the
regrind the rewards.
No, I don't care about the rewards. Like if you could just still see the scenes and get the calls from Cartman, that kind of stuff.
Like,
the only way you can do that is by restarting it. And I did it a year ago. I don't even fucking remember it really.
Yeah, I just got friends hooked up on the game, and seeing the cutscenes and seeing stuff that when I first started playing didn't see was a little odd.
Yeah. Because they added a little tutorial part to the beginning.
Yeah, they had also added a crap ton of cutscenes.
Did they add some stuff? I don't know.
Yeah, that every time you beat a boss, there was a cutscene, and the only cutscene that was in Phone Destroyer were the ones in the beginning and the end. I think no, not even the one in the end. There was no cutscene at the end. It was just the one in the very beginning where
there was like an
they're
actual
all arguing
cartoon or whatever.
Yeah, it looked like the show, and it was.
And they called. They're like, "Hold on, let me find New Kid," and then
they were like, they're arguing about what to play, and then Cartman's like, "We are playing Cowboys and Indians." He's like, "I'm gonna call the New Kid guys."
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
I
do impressions.
You also played during soft launch too, so if
I'm a soft launch player. I'm a day one player.
Those could have been. They could have just added those during hard launch, because I feel like I definitely remember
they did. Yeah, they did. They added a cutscene after you beat every single boss, and I think there was a couple additional ones, but the funniest one they added was the one at the end showing you actually how much you spend on the game. Now I heard recently that isn't actually accurate anymore, and it just gives you a random number, because I heard some free-to-play players claimed it showed they spent like 99 cents or $5. 99 cents isn't even like a spendable option on the game.
They bought the cyborg helmet or something. Those guys are liars.
Maybe.
They're just lying to you.
Yeah, your friends are lying to you.
I was pretty sure that thing was accurate, and it showed you how much spent, which is actually
mine was definitely
cool
right. Mine was definitely right. When I finished.
See that scene. No, but I was a free-to-play player all through soft launch because I tried to spend money.
Well, I hope you wouldn't spend money during soft launch.
Well, no, because I had to make like a Finland app account or something just to play the game.
No shit.
And I'm in the United States, so the Grammy's credit card wouldn't match up with the country, so it didn't work.
That's pretty funny. All right,
Grammy came out here a few minutes ago. I was trying to tell her to say hi to you guys, and she was like, "Oh no."
That's hilarious.
I was like, Grammy, come on.
Just flash the credit card. Flash that purse, Grammy. Check the damage.
Buy me Satan packs.
Maybe we can zoom in on the number. And All right, so let's move on to let me look at some of your topics, Luke, to see what kind of stuff. So
my topics.
I told Luke to come up with some topics, and he came up with some. So I'm gonna read them. So his topics are state of the game, plans for the future / new features, balance change ideas, community of the game. Well, everybody knows that's the best fucking part. So that's that one done. Game over right there. Controversy in the meta and controversy with certain cards, like Dougie. Fuck that guy.
Well,
and then the new card. Actually, let's talk about 4-ass monkeys. Let's jump to 4-ass monkeys, and let's talk about this little fancy card. Have you guys played with it yet? Have you seen the animation on the field?
I've seen it. I haven't played it. I think it's a disgusting card in the terms that it's just awful. It's definitely down there with like Drone and Sharon. It has some range. It's wacky. Like you were saying earlier that it almost looks like it doesn't belong in the game.
Yeah.
And it was one of those data mined cards that I thought was just like a joke that I thought would never be in the game. Because like I had this list of like all these cards, like the Goth Kids were data mined and Shelly's data mined, and there's this like resurrection spell data mined and all kinds of things, and that this monkey was on that list, and I was like, what the hell? I was like, there's no way this could fit into the game, and they did it, and it just kind of looks wacky. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it, and I don't mean to diss, but it's just a bad card.
Yeah, the model is definitely very strange. He kind of moves weird too, and his attack
He like hops.
Yeah, he like hops on his butt. And his attack is very strange. He's got like quite a long range because he was attacking. I was playing him level 2. Ended up beating somebody with him too, and it's like he attacks like way further away than you think he would. So that might actually let him first.
Yeah, that
hit
could
on
help
some
him
assassins.
win trades, faster ones like PK, Hermes, Kenny, Hanky's
The ability
quite fast,
is
actually
bad though. Like
no, that Death Wish is awful. Buck was like level 6 does 176 damage. And that doesn't even apply to New Kid, which is super terrible because if you're like myself, if you're playing at top level play, 176 damage isn't going to do anything, even to assassins
does
that
it
have
even kill
like,
level 5 cocks.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything. And like if it were to hit a level 5 epic assassin like Carboy Butters or Hermes Kenny, it would still leave them with like 100 damage or something like that if the monkey's at level 6, and the card just came out, so that's not going to be for a long time if anyone is that interested in getting that card to level 6, which I don't think anyone is. But the card was it seems like a nice concept on. Same with Classy. She was a nice concept on paper, but the card was just not executed right.
Yeah.
And
well, the issue is that the monkey ability just isn't effective enough. I think it needs more damage, and maybe it'll show itself to be like. I think the idea is to just like kind of chip away more with science, or with sci-fi. So maybe it's more like put the monkey out there, and now with the extra chip, your poison will now kill the target that you use the poison on, or something like that, you know.
And he's only 3 energy, so it's not going to completely ruin your cycle to throw him out.
Yeah, no, definitely not. But still, it's just not. It's a lackluster card that definitely could use a lot of things.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with both of you guys. He doesn't seem particularly good. Maybe in some specific challenges he'll be good, but he needs more damage on the Death Wish.
Does more damage in general.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Glanzer, like he's the kind of card that would fit in a chip deck, like just like you said, if he's just chipping away,
though, but he doesn't hit New Kid.
Yeah, if he did damage to New Kid, Glance would be all over there.
That's true. I mean, that's true. Maybe that's a change they could add to him. Just make that change first. See if he just 4 targets and then definitely New Kid every time.
Oh, that'd be interesting. That'd be honestly broken.
Glance, a side note, is the reason you wailed for Swordsman is because of your chip deck concept thing?
I thought he was kind of cool, yeah. To go with Santa.
I thought so, Santa. Yeah, Santa Swordsman seems nice.
Because you could you could take out some
double
fucking...
that. And then at 5, that's like, what, I think it was like 360 or 320, something like that.
It's a decent amount, yeah. It kills
the 300s.
It kills the the BHK of equal level, or of I think it's got to be the one level below. But yeah, it's pretty cool, and it hits New Kid for full damage, so I thought it might be kind of fun to get a jump on him.
Yeah.
So if I happen to get Swordsman close enough to New Kid, I can help with the chip.
It's cool that he hits flying units.
Yeah, that's
that's
a
nice.
big part about him that makes him, potentially strong. If Alien Drone ever becomes really strong, Swordsman Garrison is the counter.
Is there another?
Swordsman was a good addition. 4-ass monkey seems pretty terrible.
Yeah.
So I agree with you guys.
My biggest problem is that he just looks like he doesn't. He's kind of like gnomes to me. Gnomes feel the same way. When you play gnomes, I just don't feel like it's the same. I don't feel like the models got created in the same engine or some shit. It's just I don't know what it is. Something about the outlines or something. I don't know.
It's just unfortunate that like the most two recent cards that they released for sci-fi have both just been dog shit. Like both Alien Drone and 4-ass monkey are just terrible.
I forget that the card sometimes, the drone. Jesus.
Yeah, maybe they just released the monkey to make drone look less worse.
Well, it's the second worst card. Well, at least it's a 3-cost assassin in a deck that has some pretty fucking nuanced assassins. So, I mean, straight up, it might just be a nice assassin. Like when the only alternative is Astro, really. But I feel like something like Deckhand Butters or something or the off assassin in the other theme you're running would always be better than the monkey, the 4-ass monkey. But it is cool, I think, how the moment he dies, it triggers the damage. There's no
there's no little anime.
Yeah. So
With
that's
some death
cool.
wishes, there's some lag. I'm trying to think of a proper example of death wish. It's like some lag.
Is there any? Does Barbary have? Oh.
Yeah, when he tosses the grenade around, like he pulls it, and then
so like
it will
shield
eventually explode.
Or Red Kyle could shield you, but Monkey you can't. It's frame 1. I haven't played him yet.
Well, it has travel time, so it'll aim at somebody, travel time, and then get to him, kind of like Santa. So you could technically possibly shield that damage with something like a Kyle or something like that, or with
time it
Shield
right.
Maiden if you're far enough away from the monkey when he dies. If he's right next to you, good luck, because it's gonna immediately hit you.
I think if the Death Wish would be able to target the New Kid as an option, then it would be a much better card.
Yeah.
That's definitely one problem with him right off the bat that I think needs to be changed.
If they ever release a card or a way to like get double Death Wish effects, then I think he could end up being useful.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Especially if it can do damage, and can you imagine double? And if they buff it, double damage off that to New Kid, that'd be pretty nice for.
And then add 3 energy.
You get Marcus in there too.
Yeah, dude, just murdered. I was thinking that where there should be a card where similar to Hanky, where when you play it, anyone on the field that's a Death Wish will do their Death Wish twice. There might need to be some nuances to that, because like, let's say it's Princess Kenny, does it get applied twice, and do they have negative attack, and does that heal you? No, I'm just kidding. But if you have something like the Paladin Butter Shield, does it go on 2 different people? Does it go on one person for twice as long?
I think that would be the proper choice, just to stack. So the 2 examples you gave would be just minus Princess Kenny's Death Wish on like
10
subtract 10,
seconds.
10 seconds. And 10 seconds instead of 5 seconds, and just stack the shield for 6 seconds instead of 3 seconds. Because if it were to split up throughout 2 different things, it could create some complaining.
Right.
If that's
I think that would be an awesome card if they would release a legendary or something that did something like that doubled the, or maybe like even just as long as he's on the board, your Death Wish effects are doubled.
Yeah, that would be. Like that. I like that idea, because that would be the first card with that kind of concept where this happens while this card is on the field.
Mm-hmm.
The new enraged thing is fairly new. That's like a new category, right? And
yeah, it'd be something similar to that.
I think only 3 cards have it right now.
Keywords, what they call
that would be like an awesome deck to run with like a level 6 bar Brady. We'll run a level 6 bar straight down the
Could be
middle.
like the
You could and like get double hand grenades. Like that'd be awesome.
That'd be pretty
what
good.
if that's the first legendary spell? Just a spell that doubles all war cries and death wishes.
Oh
you know?
man, for like after you use this for 30 seconds, every death wish or war cry you put out gets doubled. That'd be fucking gnarly.
There was actually a data mined legendary spell that it was like, I don't remember what it did, but I think it was like apply shield. It was they were both fantasy legendary spells, and it was like you can see Grand Wizard Cartman do them in PvP.
Yeah, he has one that's a shield, and then one's
it's apply shield to all cards. That was a legendary one, and there was another seemed fairly broken.
You're talking about the hands coming from hell.
No. That's the mystic one.
Oh,
that's the resurrection.
It's like the evil resurrection or whatever.
That's
the fantasy legendary spells go way back in data mining. I can't remember what they did. I remember the shield one. I can't remember.
I got in an argument with someone on Facebook about this, but an invincibility spell would break the fucking game, no matter how.
Yes, it would.
It would either be so bad it would be unplayable, or it would be so good they'd have to make it unplayable.
I'm certainly not looking
because
for
it would
more
apply to
spells.
fantasy. It would apply to fantasy, and the most obvious thing I can think of right off the bat would be to pair it with Drow Elf, and then you got cards like Paladin Butters or Shield Maiden Wendy, and you're just stacking shields, and you can't do anything about it because
so terrible.
You probably have all played level 60, and you get to the very end with those two totem poles that have the invincibility, and Cartman spawns the cards, and they just the totem poles just stand there. Like there's no way, if you're attacking the troops and not the totem poles, there's no way to beat it. Like
then cards like Labard and other cards might come out that can damage through shields. So maybe you'll see a character that has the kind of a
ability
passive
to break shields,
right, where they can break shields or prevent shields from occurring on the person that they hit, or whatever fucking weird thing you might have. That's something like in Minion Masters, which is a game I play sometimes on stream. There's so many different cards with so many different little nuances that you can really do stuff like that, where you could put in a whole different like keyword based around some little theme, and that's kind of what they do every season. But I think the cards like the changes that they're making and the upgrades to the cards and stuff like that, I guess not changes, but the new cards, they're all in good, like they all have a good idea. The damage on Death Wish to multiple people, it's a good idea. Multiplying your attack when you're enraged, it's a good idea. That's what I thought. Enrage, you get stronger. Duh. Like that's clearly what Enrage is gonna do. But they just, unfortunately, the way the game works, like when you have Classy getting double health for 400 attack, that doesn't matter. She's dead before she gets the attack off, right? So
that's a problem with her.
It's hard to make some of these cards really work. I mean, Alien Drone to an extent is a cool card too. It's the first card where on spawn it spawns somebody. That's kind of cool. Instead of being a charge mode or a charge card.
It's interesting. It looks cool. It's just a piece of shit.
Yeah, it definitely looks way different than I thought it would.
The drone, I see a lot of confusion. They're like, most specifically when they did the season 22 challenge, like why drone did. I don't know if it seems obvious or not, but the drone is based off, it came out for the Amazon episode.
Right.
The alien drone is based off the Amazon drones. So, like, there was a lot of confusion around he was in that event, and it seemed a little obvious to me. I didn't know about other people though.
Yeah,
I didn't know at first. I was confused.
It was pretty obvious to me that it was supposed to be the Amazon.
Yeah,
drone.
no, I knew. As soon as I saw, I was like, oh.
Just because I had just watched the episodes.
Yeah, no, because I always watch the episode. And when they released Satan as a card, I had watched the Man Bear Pig episode where they summon Al Gore summons Satan, and then I wake up Saturday morning or Friday morning or whatever it is, and I see Satan as a card, because I think what they were doing was they weren't like giving the new card or what they were doing for the event in their developer updates, because they're like, oh, new episode, no spoilers, we're going to be quiet about it.
Yeah.
So when they introduced new cards like Drone and Satan, they were like, surprise, new card.
So then do you
that was
figure?
like a nice little...
I know that you
No, go
have like
ahead.
a lot of the data mine cards. Assuming that those all come out, do you think that we'll get Goth Kids with some Goth Kid episode or story arc?
I mean, eventually they have all these data mine cards. Most specifically, or there's one card that they accidentally leaked themselves in the arena. Do you guys remember when every time they came out with an update, they'd show all the cards that weren't out in the arenas? Were you guys around for that?
No.
Is this hard launch or soft launch?
This is hard launch. This was after hard launch.
If it was hard launch, I was there. You'd have to
You just
refresh my
didn't
memory.
see
I don't
it.
remember.
Yeah. No, so they had showed cards that they were on the release list, and this was like just as the game was coming out. So they had showed cards like Incan Craig, which is now a card, and Robo Bebe and Medusa Bebe. So there's one card left that they haven't released, and it's Jew Scout Ike.
Right.
And
Oh yeah.
you guys probably know about that card, and I don't know if they're like planning like stalling it for something, but he's based off that one episode where Kyle goes to that camp with Kenny.
Right. What's his
Ike,
ability again? It's something about energy, like you
his
charge and you
his
get
charged
energy.
ability is to gain 1 energy.
That could be pretty fucking
That's
broken.
so
with
sick.
That yeah,
those
with
Yankees.
staff, he is a common with staff. That could be nice, especially during like last minute. If you get like a Hermes staff 1 minute Jew Scout Ike, and you're just gaining like 7 energy in a second, like shit.
Well, we don't know if it would interact that way, but yeah, that would be pretty
Yeah,
cool
but
if it did.
yeah.
I would
But
love
yeah,
to
they
see a
have-
card that you get some energy per hit. Not it'd have to be like a really low
Ooh.
amount, obviously, but every time that
Yeah.
card hits, you get
Like
some energy.
Choir Boy
That'd
Butter,
be interesting.
maybe
They could change Juice Scout to be that before release.
they could. Yeah, but they have a lot of cards that they have just like on a list.
I don't think
for
any of the
example, like-
cards that are out right now we'll see during like next season of South Park, just because it's so far away. I think everything that we have now will probably be out, or everything that we know about now will most likely
be
be
out
out by
before.
that time.
Yeah, they got like Scott Malkinson is there holding like a bunch of needles.
Yeah, I'm sure
Mm.
Scott's gonna be
They
in it
got-
eventually.
They've got Shelly as an adventure card as like a cowboy. She's like 2 guns in her art picture. They've
Nice.
got all the Goth Kids as individual cards. So I don't know how they'd work, but most the fat chick Henrietta and the kid with the dyed hair, the red like bangs, they're both 2-drop tanks.
What?
So
2-drop tanks.
yeah,
I
so
don't
that's
believe it.
probably gonna change, but that's what they were data mined as. So
That was before all of the changes. Like
yeah,
all
this
the-
was a while
yeah.
ago. So
That's what I'm
Yeah, so
thinking. SDNW Choir Boy doesn't work with staff either. It would be like that.
Right.
yeah, they've got a lot of stuff backed up, and that's like probably like a good idea because
Well, yeah, they
Um,
got all the assets for stuff like that
yeah.
already, and then they had to create some as they went for the games. But they started with all these cards, obviously.
yeah, they've got a
and
ton of
then-
garrisons in files.
Yeah,
like a bunch of
we knew
Mr.
about all the
Garrison
garrisons
cards.
already. We knew about the Bebe before she dropped.
Yeah, all the
Um,
Bebes. One of the garrisons was actually entirely from the files in the forum. President-elect Garrison
Yeah.
was going to be a card.
Mhm.
His ability he was 8 cost tank, and his ability was to mind control people for 4 seconds.
Yeah, it was
like,
like
all
3
surrounding
cards or something.
enemies.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, something like that. But
Where if you think about it, that probably wouldn't matter much because you're just gonna mind control everybody, and then no one's gonna be attacking anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Swordsman Garrison was originally filed and named as Zorro Garrison, which is like kind of obvious that he's based on Zorro,
Right.
which I'm learning about
Mhm.
him now in history class. Actually, fun
That
fact.
was a real
Ooh.
person. I thought that was a stupid show.
No, I think he was a real person.
I think your
I mean, I'm not-
teachers are lying to you.
No, he's-
Are you just watching old TV shows? Did you also
No.
learn about animals from Balto?
No, we're watching the Zorro movie, but I think he was a real
The
person.
Antonio Banderas one with
I don't know if it's Antonio Banderas, but some
Captain
guy
Zeta-Jones and
some guy shoots himself and he spits.
I
That's the
think
last
Owen
one I
Wilson
remember.
or something. That show's actually lit, man. That one's awesome.
Why are you watching Zorro in history?
His initial. I don't
I
fucking
don't-
know. It's my history class.
Maybe it actually
te-
happened. I don't know.
Is Zorro real? What the fuck? Now you got me
My teacher taught me that animorphs are real.
I
Oh,
liked
man.
I liked LaFour's idea of instead of 4 monkey doing damage, like have it deal poison, like
There
either
you
an
go.
AQR poison or like if it shot out like 4 of like the Alien Clyde poisons instead, like
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, yeah, that would be good.
Or
that'd
like
be-
a snake
that'd be-
poison where it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it never ends.
No, I think it should do a decent amount of damage.
Yeah,
Like
more than snake poison. Snake poison is like nothing.
if they made it,
Yeah,
made
snake
it like
poison
the-
is a fucking joke.
Yeah, but
if
it
they
never
made it like
ends.
the Alien Clyde poison, dude, that would be a legit card. Then like that would be somewhat useful.
Yeah, poison makes more
At that
sense.
point,
It makes more sense. Like, come on, it's fucking sci-fi. It's poison. The only thing bad about that though is that the poison doesn't stack. So if the more poisons you run, actually the worse off you are, which kind of sucks because you'd wish it stacked because then you can AQR and then drop poison on them, and then it's like bye bye motherfuckers. But you have to like wait for AQR to get done before you could do it, or vice versa.
if he stays at, I mean, if that were to happen, he would need to be 4 costs though. Like that's 4 people getting alien Clyde poison at once or AQR at 3. And that's kind of OP.
Well, obviously the damage would be scaled in some way, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely makes more sense than just straight damage. Even if it was a poison for, let's say, double the amount of damage it's doing now, because
Mhm.
you know obviously you can stop a poison or
No,
outlive a poison.
it
or
would
whatever.
have to be pretty high. Like I mean, not like crazy. It would have to be like a significant amount of poison damage, enough to like be effective towards legendaries and epics. Like if you're talking about 300 poison damage, nobody would fucking play that because poison itself is a shitty
Yeah.
spell. Like
Nowadays, it used to be really good.
level 6 poison is like okay
70
at
damage,
best,
yeah.
but it's not like amazing by any stretch. Like
Yeah,
AQR is really the like AQR and Alien Clyde are the only good poison cards, and the only reason they're good is because they at least do enough damage to take out most legendary fighters
and
and
range cards, yeah. Because
range
that's the
cards.
biggest part with poison is that, especially with something like Hallelujah and Regen and stuff, if your poison doesn't kill its target, it's a wasted card because eventually they're either gonna just not get hit or they're gonna, you know, you're gonna have a mecha with 2 health behind a Zen or something like that, and you can't do anything about it, or they're just gonna get Hallelujah or something. So
Right.
that's the same reason why Fireball isn't as effective as it could be, just because the meta with, you know, stuff like Hallelujah and stuff, you're most likely not going to be able to kill the target with the Fireball, and they're just gonna, where normally you could drop something else and, you know, your push will beat their push because you got them down so much, doesn't matter because all the damage you just did is going to get Hallelujah or
Yeah.
fucking
Right.
even BHK healed
Yeah, no,
sometimes.
I think if it was on par with AQR's poison, or even if it was close to Alien Clyde level of poison, I think that would be perfectly fine.
I think it would have to be less than 4 people though at that point, maybe 2.
Yeah, that's I think 2 people, 3 people, keep it at 3 costs would be perfect.
Yeah, if it was 2 people got hit with something similar, like a equal level or 1 down level Alien Clyde damage, I think that would be pretty solid. Because that's like what, 600 something?
For which poison?
Alien Clyde poison?
800, I think.
800. That's at 6. Yeah.
40. I think it's 40 a second over 20 seconds.
And then you could still
Card?
purify, which would be kind of an energy gain depending on how much attack the monkey actually does before dying.
Right, and then the
So-
next, the mystic red will be a purify on all allies
Right.
to help deal with that.
Yeah, that's
a
Dark
great card.
Angel Red. She's an Epic 5 cost. Epic 5 cost. That's what she is.
I think you cut out who? Which card?
Dark Angel Red is the Mystic Red Glanzer is talking about that purifies all cards.
Well, that's what I assume it would do.
Yeah. No, you're right. That's what it does. It was
there you go.
Shaman token kind of thing.
Yeah, but hopefully it would hit New
And
Kid. I think if token hit New Kid too, he'd be a playable card. That's all they'd have to do, because then you could wipe out Youth Pastor, you could wipe out Marine Craig Poison, shit like that.
But you can't purify Youth Pastor anyway, so they'd have to change the whole mechanic.
You can't.
Well, you can't purify it because you can't use the spell.
Yeah, you can.
If you shaman token.
You can time it to where purify goes off right after the mic hits and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Does that actually work?
It's not intended to work.
No, it doesn't work, Luke. That's what I mean. Like, if you wait and hover over it and drop purify where the frames line up to where purify comes after the mic hits, I mean, nothing happens. If they fix that with shaman token and purify, that'd be sick.
The purify plays would be awesome. Purify and just laugh.
Yeah.
Purify is such a good spell. It's probably to me that's my favorite spell.
Do cards like Marine Craig and Alien, back to, I forgot who said it, but someone mentioned Alien Clyde. Do poison cards like Alien Clyde and Marine Craig benefit from a level 7 upgrade? Does their poison upgrade with that, or no?
Mm-hmm.
No abilities do, except swarm abilities, obviously, and then Witch Doctor. That's it. Because Witch Doctor's
abilities
ability
cap
is
out at
based
6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is silly, because you'd think that would be the one thing that would go up with that final jump.
Yeah, no, that's what I just thought.
To make commons a little bit more useful, because the only thing that commons are useful for right now is their ability. So if you had a little bit of a benefit, it would give you a reason to go to 7. But right now, you don't have any reason to go to 7. Really, you get 10 attack or something.
It's very little stat upgrade. I mean, the cards that benefit, or commons that benefit most to 7 in my eyes, are like Robo Bebe.
Belf,
gets like
Bebe.
more attack. Belf.
Just the Bebes.
Bebes. There was a couple others.
Technically,
Maxi
the assassins
is one gets like a couple.
Any assassin,
It's like
technically, because then it could let you be more on par with the assassin.
On Butters,
the epic,
which are still very useful at 6. Paladin Butters and Princess Kenny. I see them all the time in the ladder. Pretty sure top 25 players are running level 6 PK and Paladin Butters, Princess Kenny.
Paladin
Dude,
Butters
I'm not
is
the
on
one
ladder
that
for
said.
sure.
I said you couldn't use Purify SDNW. What are you talking about? Dummy. Anyway. Luke, you had all those topics, but those are all so general, and we honestly kind of talked about a lot of them, as far as like state of the game and stuff like that. And we're going for a while. Lance, push this shit.
I need to get going.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, Vegeta. But we'll catch you guys next time. We're gonna end the podcast. We got Luke here, OniChris, Abio. We've been talking about a bunch of stuff. If you do have questions, any stuff that you want us to talk about on the next Procast, look for the YouTube video. Probably up tomorrow if I can get it cut together, and we will drop some comments, and we'll use those for future Procasts and stuff like that. So Bio, you got any last words for the night?
It was fun. Thanks for having me. Always good to be a part of it.
Dude, every time, man, every time. The next Procast will most likely be 2 weeks.
Like this.
2 weeks from now. Yeah, Luke, it's good to have you, man. Did you have a good time? I don't think you heard me. Luke, did you have a good time?
I had a wonderful time.
Good. Oni, how you doing, man? Any last words?
Absolutely. I just started streaming. If you want to watch Top 25 Legendary play with a pretty chill commentary, twitch.tv/OniChris. Jump over and give me a follow.
Level 5, 6 element, Randy.
Come watch me play.
Level 5, 6 element over there.
Come hang out with me.
It's not
man.
a level 5 Santa, but I mean, it's pretty. It's
good. Worth watching.
You know, it's not level 5 Youth Pastor Craig level stand in many moons. Okay.
I still can't believe you don't have Youth Pastor level 6, man. You're slacking.
I'm close. I'm less than 100 away.
We'll talk about it, Tech. It'll be you and Vegeta. Shit will go down.
Oh,
also,
God,
Luke, cut your hair. Cobra says.
Cut my hair? Wow, what a douche.
Cut your hair, man. Cut it. Get it off. No,
Oh,
man,
I
my
got
hair was like that when I was your
in
age
the
too.
shot right at the end.
I also wanted to be in a punk rock band.
I'm gonna grab my dog.
All right, guys. Thanks everybody in chat for hanging out for
Minute
this stream.
South Park
We
impressions.
appreciate you listening to us talk about some of the changes, some of the updates. A lot of cool stuff happening in South Park. A lot of cool updates. Good to know that they have, they're continuing the development, making progress. A lot of the bug fixes that came out are really cool. So make sure you check them out so you know what's gonna happen when your Medusa kills a paladin this time. So make sure that you stop by the streams of OniChris, of Abiogenesis, of me, of anyone else in chat that might also stream. Vegeta. That's the only one I see. Technique might start streaming again. Who knows? But we'll see you guys later. Thanks for stopping by for the 9th or 10th Procast. One of those. Anyway, peace out, everybody. Have a good one. Later.
Hi, guys.
See you, man.
See you, man.